Welcome back. This is Rob with American Trailhead Tacos with Rob, and I got Reader here joining us. We're going to kind of finish. I know it's a little late, but we're going to finish the 2022 SHOT Show in Vegas and kind of wrap up what we saw there, and who we saw, all the vendors and manufacturers, and what we felt was some differences from 2020 versus 2022. So, in my opinion, 2020 was, it was, I hate to say same old, but the industry was kind of just we're over the Trump slump. We're innovating some, like for the PDWs and a few other rifles, like Daniel Defense came out with some of their rifles and a few others. But
we also had, there was a large showing of PCCs that year too.
Right,
in 2020.
right. So it seemed like it was some of that, on the military side, the CQB, and civilian side, where you can kind of have that same type of rifle with you and not have the 16-inch, A2 version.
Yeah.
And so that was good. I mean, there's good innovation there, but that was probably my fifth one, and so to me, working it just was pretty much the same,
right,
other than a few of those items. Now, fast forward, you got COVID pandemic, we didn't have no SHOT Show for 2021, 2022 was kind of sketchy there for a while, but they kind of just nailed it down and said, we're doing it, and we decided to go ahead and go out there. We took Reader and a few other people out there to talk to all the vendors and manufacturers, get a good grasp of what we're going to sell here at American Trailhead. And so, in my opinion, I thought there was obviously some big names not showing up. SIG, Glock was scaled down, even though they had a big footprint, but they didn't have a lot of their displays like they usually have. I mean, it's usually huge. So they scaled it down. At least I had a presence there.
Springfield wasn't there.
And Springfield wasn't there. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They have their reasons why they didn't show and all that good stuff. But I think it actually gave an opportunity for some of your manufacturers, small manufacturers and small vendors to kind of step up and replace that, because now the majority of the crowd, they didn't go to SIG, Springfield, or they really not much to see with Glock and a few others. And so, hey, let's go check out like SAR. SAR USA was a perfect example. Right. They had a decent sized booth, great presence. They introduced like a SAR 9 Stormtrooper version, and I think we did a video on that. Right. With their rep, Kaya.
Yeah.
He was great. So explained everything. It was nice. Of course, I'm a Star Wars fan, obviously, so I was loving that. But I think it really gave an opportunity for them and to kind of showcase what they have. And so
they were able to step up to the plate, because SAR actually was one of the main sponsors for the SHOT Show that year.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it was a little down to see some of the larger manufacturers not showing up, right? Because you wanted to see their products there, be able to take a look at them. But again, like you're saying, it allowed those smaller organizations to step up to the plate, and we got to see a lot of kind of the newer innovations that the smaller companies are doing and spotlight them a little bit more. So, yeah, I found it to be, I think a lot of also think the larger manufacturers are probably sitting back and kind of reevaluating the industry as they move into 2022 and 2023. What does that look like for them?
Right.
You know, with politics, what's happening in the arena there, and in the firearms manufacturing industry as a whole, what does it look like for them in the future? So,
right.
yeah, it's it definitely was the 2022 SHOT Show was definitely the a big showing for some of the smaller companies.
What did you think about that new edition, the Caesars Forum, where they had, it was a new building off in the convention center, and then so to me it gave some leg room.
Right.
You know, it kind of spread out a little bit. Maybe brought some of the guys from the lower levels up to that level,
Right.
and you know, get a better presence at the show for themselves and for, you know, their company and whatever products they were selling. I thought the Caesars Forum was a hit.
Yeah. I think it was too. You know, the new products area was in that Caesars Forum.
It was.
And you know, it instead of being regulated to a kind of a hallway down in the basement.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Years past, it's at the bottom level. It's tucked in the corner.
Right.
And you know, they had like it wasn't a security guard, but it was an event, you know, organizer. Kind of this, they had to manage how many people went in because
Right.
they were small, right? So I get it. You don't want to, you know, 5,000 people in this real small area.
Yeah.
So yeah, for that it gave an open floor plan to those, you know, to those people that were just, you know, for their new products.
Right.
So I thought it was a hit.
And what are your thoughts in regards to, you know, the SHOT Show worth going to?
Oh well,
What do you think the future of the SHOT Show is?
everybody has an opinion about it. I think is for like the big manufacturers, you know, they have to evaluate what they're doing in the firearm industry. For you got politics, you got all of that going on for them. But the smaller manufacturers, vendors, retailers, we have our own set of issues. So for me, I think it's an opportunity for that group of people to go. I wouldn't hesitate, because meeting especially if you're a retailer, if I met a sales rep from Glock or Daniel Defense, I can establish a relationship, and that goes a long way.
Right.
And I think it kind of solidifies that business relationship later, and see that growth for both.
Right.
It's not just one-sided, and that might actually give like the small retailers and small vendors and small manufacturers a leg up to where they can establish better pricing.
Right.
Because I think at the end of the day, with everything's prices are going up for everything, you know, if you can bring your costs of the product down, however, then that's going to benefit you, and then ultimately benefit the customer.
Right. And not just those relationships at SHOT Show.
Right.
But the relationships that you build outside of the show in the evenings.
Right.
When you get the chance to mingle
a little bit.
Right.
And you guys might not know this, but there's a place, and at the bottom of the Venetians, called the Circle Bar. It is literally a bar it's a circle. That's all it is. It's right in the middle of the casino, but at the end of the night, in a sense, or at the end of the day and the end of the night, when everybody's gone to their parties or had their powwows and, you know, sales meetings and all of that, that's when everybody comes there to kind of unwind.
Yeah.
And I think you struck up a conversation with a manufacturer for us, right. And that's actually led into a couple of buying opportunities,
yeah.
and at a discount. So we can bring those products at a cheaper price to our customers.
Right.
So you establish some of those relationships at the show, in the show, and during the business day, and then you establish some of those at the end of the night at the Circle Bar. So I think I'm on the side that we should probably go.
Right. Absolutely.
And there's probably arguments on both ends, and I can see it. But for knowing, running a multi-million-dollar shop and buying for them and seeing the advantages that I had going to that show, and then going down and starting a company with American Trailhead, and those relationships are
valuable.
Very valuable,
right.
And it's helping us.
Right.
And so if we didn't go, then we would be missing out. I'm pretty sure of that.
So a lot of the smaller companies probably would need to evaluate the financial aspects of going,
right.
And then outweighing that information that we're giving them here to kind of evaluate if they see that it's financially worth their while going.
And we did that. We had a meeting, internal meeting, with the owners, Dutch and Gary, and we sat there and we did it. It was a budget meeting.
Right.
And sometimes those are not the easiest meetings to go to or be a part of, because you're seeing money and you're seeing the cost, and that number starts to grow, because you're like, well, I need, obviously I need to get hotel rooms, flights, and food, and then flights getting back.
Social media team.
Cost those guys
that,
wanna, they're part of a union and everything. They want certain kind of money.
Right.
So it's.
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, maybe not.
Oh.
So that you definitely, as a small vendor, retailer, I would suggest to have those meetings, and if you can figure out a way to allocate some of that money, it's going to pay dividends later, for sure,
right.
Because you're going to be able to recoup some of that money spent on the savings on products and merchandise that you're able to sell.
Right.
So for me, that was it's a must. I would want to go.
Right.
What was the one thing that kind of pulled you from the show? It could be products, it could be organizations, it could be the one thing that kind of said, look, you know what, this is something that American Trailhead should do, other people should do, or?
Couple of things. One, we did get to spend, and one of our main reasons for going on our side as a social media team was to catch up with the SARS team and talk with them and try to develop and build that relationship. And I feel that we were very successful at that. Enjoyed meeting Kaya and the sales team at SAR USA. We got to meet the owner of SAR Slamaz, and I think interacting with their social media team was great. Great personalities. Their product line, they came with everything.
Right.
And they even came with products that, they can't sell here in the U.S., but sell internationally. And they've got some great products internationally that I wish they would sell here, but they can't. But again, that was one of the big relationships, and one of the big things that stuck out to me was just how much product line they really have and the quality of their products. Getting to talk with their sales reps about the manufacturing process and the people that are coming from Turkey that were there, talking to them about the manufacturing process. It was very eye-opening. And then you end up Hold My Guns was another one that really was just that one other thing that really stuck out to me throughout the whole show. Was Hold My Guns,
Right.
And what that organization is about. Those were, from my perspective, because we were doing a lot of running around and going from one end of the show to the next, so that
Right.
we could stay on our schedule. And
Right.
so I didn't get to see a lot of the products that we weren't scheduled to see, but those were the big impressions.
And those shows,
I got.
and you're right, I thought so too. I mean, the shows, just to get everybody's mind wrapped around it, is really big. And so you can make a list, and we did the musts we have to do, and you're probably only going to do about 60% of that.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time. That's all it is. It's getting from one side to the other and then back to, and you're on a schedule. And I watch the social media team just running around all over the place, and it's still, even for us, Dutch and I, having meetings with our sales reps, our distributors, and talking, because it just takes time.
Right. And I
So-
think we only hit about 40%, possibly, of what we wanted to hit.
Right.
Because you end up, you go to the, say, you go to like Otis. You
Right.
go to their site, to their booth, and I mean the volume of products that they have. And then for us on the social media side of things, if you take a time with the salesperson, they want
Right.
to go over everything.
Right.
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 And so, we wanted to really kind of hone in on some of their top products, and that just takes time to get that set up, to go over it properly, to give you guys the right information.
Right. Right.
To the getting that right information to the consumer that needs to. So.
Right. No, yeah. So the organization Hold My Guns is something we're getting involved with. American Trailhead and a few others. We'll dive into that as we go, and we're developing that relationship every day. We're in whole contact with them, and actually, I think we might have helped somebody out in a situation that it was kind of, and so that already is paid dividends. That's a good relationship right there for sure.
And I think they're still looking for more gun stores.
Right, and so we're going to do if it's not an informational video or just a podcast about it, and we'll have, is it Karen? The lady, damn, I don't know her name. What's her name? For Hold My Gun?
Sarah?
Sarah. Cut that out. I didn't really get to talk to her. So in my defense, I read the information. We've had multiple phone conversations, and then it's still early. It was still early stages when we were going into SHOT Show, and then we finally got to meet face to face and discuss it a little bit further. But I think it's going to be a great program, and great program for FFLs and state of Georgia and
Across the nation.
Across the nation on that to help people in a crisis. And that doesn't have to be a mental crisis. It could be a catastrophe, like a tornado or house fire and all of that stuff. Where are you going to put your guns? And because you can't take them with you. Most places won't let you store them inside of, especially a hotel, and if they caught you, and it just can create undue stress in a stressful moment. And so, if you can put those guns away safe, secure, and not involving any of the government agencies, it's all private.
Right.
And I mean, I think it's a win-win. Without a doubt. But we'll have more information on that. as we go forward with AmericanTrailhead.com.
Yeah, and if there's anything that, if you're not familiar with the program, you can check out the video that we did with Sarah at AmericanTrailhead.com as well. We, Courtney and I interviewed Sarah, and we have a couple videos at AmericanTrailhead.com that you can check out to get caught up to speed on Hold My Guns. So, but
what other topic? AmericanTrailhead.com. We're wrapping up for SHOT Show 2022. Reader here and our social media team, we had a blast. The owners, Gary and Dutch, I think we walked 67 miles in that week. I got a little trimmer, so I need some more tacos. My prop guy forgot to give me tacos, but he got me some coffee, so that's okay for now.
I think I gained weight from that turkey leg that we had.
That turkey leg was.
That turkey leg stuck with the.
That's actually. I took a picture of it, and I got like most likes for all. Wow. People were like, "What is that?" It was the biggest turkey leg I haven't seen in my life, and so but it was great too. I only can eat a portion of it, and I ate off of it for like 2 days. So I took it back to the hotel. But yeah, let's wrap this up for SHOT Show 2022. This is Rob with Tacos with Rob.